So slave mentality that still exists widely in the society, I would say.
Can you tell us about the Rasta theory, or better yet, the Rasta philosophy?
Well, Rasta philosophy centers around the one love concept, that is, one people, that we're all from Africa, and that we should be close to nature. Rasta like to eat ital food, that's like very natural food with little or no salt, and they grow their hair in locks, generally speaking. But some Rastas don't have locks. You don't have to dread to be Rasta, we say. So a lot of people, especially people who are employed, will say they have Rasta in their heart. Um, yeah. Does that answer that question?
Yeah. What would you can you say that a Rasta person or a Rasta that dreadlock will have hard time to get a job?
It's more common now for people with dreadlocks to get jobs. Um, but in the past it was very looked down upon to be a Rasta and to have dreadlocks. And nowadays it's much better, I would say. You will find it more common amongst women to have dreadlocks and be employed in white collar jobs. And with men who are wearing locks on their hair, they would more often shave the beard. But it's definitely a lot more common now today than it was even 50 years ago.
Can you be more specific about the Rasta daily routine? Are they celebrations or days that are specific for the Rastafarian?
Well, yes, they are. Well, for the first part of your question, for the daily routine, you have a lot of small groups of Rastafarians who live in the hillsides, closer to nature, in wooden homes. They cook meals on wooden fires, take baths in the river, and eat a lot of ital food, natural food. So there's that kind of natural daily living that those kind of Rastafarians would live. And then you have the other more modern kind, I guess, that would live in the cities, have regular jobs. And Rastafarians nowadays like to read a lot, especially about Black history and current events, and try and really keep educated, and reading is encouraged. Marijuana is a big part of some Rastafarian routine. Some of them take it for spiritual rituals, gain higher states of consciousness, and some just have it as like a daily habit. There are festivals like the ones that in Naibingi have, where they chant around a large fire and have ceremonial type dances and chanting. And they have special days like the Ethiopian New Year is celebrated here as well. And there are events like the Bob Marley's birthday celebration. Bob Marley was one of the huge influences in Rasta culture that brought the culture to the eyes of the world, really. And through reggae music, Rasta was seen in a more positive light, because before that it was widely looked down upon to be a Rasta.
The Rasta movement was formed mainly by the ancestors of the same slaves. What do you think was the effect of the Rastafarian beliefs in the difficult slavery period? In what way you think it helped them?
Well, in the 1920s, Marcus Garvey was born, and he's largely considered as being responsible for the start of the Rasta movement in Jamaica. He introduced the idea of a black God, or a black Jesus, and encouraged his followers to see God or Jesus as being black. And he also prophesied the coming of a black king from the east. And when Emperor Selassie was crowned, that was a big event. And when the Marcus Garvey followers in Jamaica saw that, they saw that as a fulfillment of his prophecy. So that's where the idea of Haile Selassie being Jah Rastafari comes from, and essentially that's where the birth of Rastafarianism in Jamaica is thought to have begun. So when it started, it caused people to come together in a uniting in their blackness, being proud of being black, and so it helps that way to shift their consciousness, I think, from I'm a slave and I don't know who I am really, I'm in a strange land, I don't belong anywhere, to I'm from Africa, I have a home, I belong to this group of people, we're one, and that kind of shift occurred at that time, which I think helped the people to have hope and find unity and a sense of belonging.
It is estimated that there are 100,000 Rastafarians in Jamaica only. What is the influence nowadays of the Rastafarian philosophy over communities and the believers?
Can you say that again, please?
It is estimated that there are 100,000 Rastafarians in Jamaica only. What is the influence nowadays of the Rastafarian philosophy over those believers, over those communities?
Okay, well, the larger part of Rastafarian influence today in our communities, I would say, has to come through the music, through reggae music. Artists like Morgan Heritage